readings and commentary by me, Ayla Love. First of all, I just want to apologize for yesterday. I allowed someone to become the moderator without setting any parameters, and it looks like they were deleting comments. Like, you were just saying hi, and he like hid it. And I looked in everything, and it doesn't look like anyone was banned from what I can see, unless there's some other place. I don't know. So I just wanted to apologize for that. I do want everyone to be able to comment freely. I don't want to hear about things that are off topic. I don't want to be hit on. I'm just sharing my story and the Exiting the Matrix course that I wrote. A book for humanity that also includes the personality workbook. And I see the shining. So these two books together are the course that is available on my website for free. There's an AI version of me reading it without any interruption, because I do provide commentary while I'm reading. And yeah, so let me see. I need to open this up and see if anyone's in here yet, because I can't see now. And mute me. There. So yeah, I can't tell if anyone is in here. So if you want to put a 1 or do a little heart or something, just to let me know you're in here occasionally, that would be spectacular. But now no one's gonna delete your hello. So also this week I was supposed to be live Monday and Tuesday as well, and so I ended up doing all 3 days yesterday, and so that transmission is like 2 hours. But that was because I had to work. I'm a professional mover, and it's very draining, so I couldn't be present. So apologize for that as well. In 2015, I also wrote my autobiography, which is my eternal future. I was raised Jehovah's Witness and exited that community, so I exited that matrix, and we actually get into that today a little bit. Hello, I'm alright. Kind of got a little flustered thinking people were banned by the moderator, but it looks like he didn't ban them. Hello. And his name is Brett something. So Brett, if you are in here, or you come in here, or whatever, hello. Mr. Cluey VR. Hello. If Brett is in here or comes in here, basically I'd like to have an understanding of why you were blocking people's comments. Like, this is an open space. This is YouTube. People can say what they want. It's not going to hurt my feelings. So, I'm going to start out because I know that there's so much suffering in the world, and I just want to give everyone a big hug and send you some loving energy from a human being that literally cares about humanity and the world and everything that's going on. So, thank you. So, so far, this is the 3rd week that I've been doing this, Monday through Thursday, and I do remember watching a video where it's like, I'm not charging anything. Well, we all have to survive, right? So I'm giving away this course. I'm giving this away, and I'm also giving away my time to be here, to be present, and to read the course and provide commentary for deeper understanding and answer any questions. Hello. And so, but there are things that I am charging for, like if you want personalized assistance, there's a link below. There's also a inner circle that is designed for just 30 people, so we can have a smaller space without any external distractions on YouTube. So that would actually support me to be able to do this. I'm in, a tent. No, I live in an RV. So, let's see. All right, so I'm going to start now doing the reading. Like I said, this is week 3. So far, we've covered the basic, the foundation for what is the matrix, socialization. We've talked about personality development, influence and perception, self-love, and self-care topics. And now this week has been the spiritual core dimension. So now we're getting into how to break free spiritually. Hello. And then we're going to get into the spiritual assignments. Oh, yeah, my fan is on. I'm going to turn that off just a moment. I forgot to turn that off. It's noisy. So, I'm going to read now. It's maybe 4 pages. And then we can have commentary. And if you have anything you want to say in here, go for it. I'll go through them at the end and we can have a little chat. But I love to hear your feedback. And this is not like, oh, I know everything. This is, I have 5 kids. I've been married and divorced. I've been through a lot of shit. I'm a real person and I care about what's going on with our educational system. And that was really the foundation of writing this, because I healed myself from all kinds of things that I write about in my autobiography. And I just think that there's a lot of information that people don't know, and you'd have to live my life to know all of it, I guess. You know, I mean, I think people who suffer gain more insight because then they have to learn self-compassion. And when you learn self-compassion, then you're able to have more compassion for others. In a very basic. Okay, I'm going to start reading now. Breaking free spiritually. Many people are dissatisfied with their religion and often stay in it due to family pressures, feeling safe, or fear of being ostracized by their family and friends. It can be very challenging to walk away, especially if you are concerned about being disowned by your family or friends. Author's personal experience. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I was spiritual based on what that religion's meaning of spiritual, but I feel more connected to God now than I ever did before. This religion told me what to believe based on adherence to their religious publications, the Watchtower and Awake magazines, and it was frowned upon to learn about other religions. So my relationship with God was built on the information they provided, not on personal experiences with God in prayer and study. I'm not sure if I get into this, but I'm just going to say that I had a connection to God when I was a child. So that was not dictated by any man-made structure. That was an internal experience, which has guided me throughout my life. Getting disowned by my family and friends for leaving that religion is exactly what happened to me. I left because I did not get what I needed to flourish spiritually or energetically. I experienced more, sorry, dang it, I messed up. lost my page. Good Lord. I experienced more judging, shame, and guilt than agape love. Agape love is principled love. It's the love that Jesus Christ had for dying for humankind. And after I left, I expanded my awareness and education of other Christian and non-Christian based religions, and concluded that you will find both good and bad aspects in every religion and in all people. Spirituality and faith are based on one's personal experiences. I still believe God is the highest being or creator, but after I broke free, I learned that God is energy, and that all of us are energetically connected, which is global consciousness. It took me some time to overcome Jehovah's Witnesses' doctrines, but I broke free and I feel liberated, much like the scripture that says, "The truth will set you free." I go into my religious experiences in my autobiography called My Eternal Future. Self-care. Do this. Meditate or pray to your higher power, God, and surrender. Sometimes we feel lost because others dictate what we should do and believe. Surrendering helps you let go so you can connect to your God or higher power easily. Be still. Define what energies are not allowed in your space and rebuke them. Set space boundaries that dark energies are not allowed to enter, 1 block, 3 miles, etc. And set an intention to maintain the energetic boundary indefinitely. Beware of what you bring into your home or watch on television. If you feel uncomfortable spiritually, think about what may have influenced you. Take the quiz in the spiritual exploration section that asks you questions based on what you believe to see what religious belief system more accurately describes your religious belief system or spiritual belief system. Spirituality is the essence of being human, and that means feeling alive on this planet, living life to the fullest, and fulfilling your purpose. This course can help you remember what is most important to you so you can incorporate all that gives you inner joy into your life. Journal. How am I feeling now? I'm feeling content, optimistic, loving, caring. Journal. Practice agape love, which is unconditional love, toward yourself and others. It is important to love yourself and others around you fully, even if they don't believe in the same God, religion, or doctrines as you do. Ultimately, no one on earth can judge another's eternal future. And I was like, you know what, I should name this My Eternal Future is Nobody's Effing Business. So leave that to the higher powers. Loving others will help them see that your belief system brings you happiness, and they may start asking questions about your faith or belief system. Spend some time journaling your thoughts about the information covered in this chapter. Be honest with yourself and ask, do I truly love people? Or do I classify people and treat them differently based on what class, religion, or ethnicity they are? Is there room for improvement in my treatment of others? In what ways can I improve? So I'm just going to pause there before I go into the spiritual core assignments and see what you guys are saying. How many gods are there? Well, so yesterday it was a 2-hour live, and I read the whole chapter pretty much, and with all the basic information, and there are 4,200 different religions or doctrines or teachings like around the world. So, 4,200 and growing. So, and if you really think about it, we're all experiencing our own we're all having our own spiritual experience, which, is an entirely different belief system. So it's really about just seeing people, be them, accept. Like, you believe that there's fairies. Okay, I'm not arguing with you. Whatever you want to believe, if it works for you, as long as you're not hurting other people, I'm not going to interfere, and I'm still going to love you. I might think you're weird, but so what? My daughter, when she was 15, she's like, everybody's weird, and if you don't think you're weird, you're weird. So, you know, we live in a world that judges everybody and puts people in boxes. So, exiting the matrix is all about saying F you to the boxes and just accepting people for who they are, where they're at. And that's another thing that we got into is that, you know, think about it. Well, our education system in America, for sure, doesn't teach anything. In fact, I just saw a teacher talk about how teachers are leaving their positions and homeschooling their children because there's either parents who teach their children or there's parents who don't. And that the educational system, like from 20 years ago, has changed so much that now it's just like they're like dumbing people down. Can you push a button? You know, if to work so that whatever, that whole philosophy. So, yes, because when you homeschool your kids, someone said, my kids are homeschooled. They're brilliant. I homeschooled my kids off and on too, and they have a well-rounded whole person education, and you have that ability to tap into your child's personal creativity to, you know, develop their brain, because without actually working your brain, and I got into this in the, I think the personal core dimension, but the brain, you don't fully, your frontal lobe is not fully developed until you actually develop it. So it's going to be different for everybody. Like, the more you use your brain, the better your brain, or faster your brain will develop. So I've seen different numbers, they say, but, and I think one of the biggest keys to developing your frontal lobe is through emotion, because this gets into more things, but like in general, we see over, like, since I was a kid, okay, I grew up in the 80s, so boys, you don't get to feel sad, you don't get to feel the feminine emotions. So basically, boys are just all rough and tough, and if they cry, then they're homos or whatever. And it's like stifled emotions, okay? Women, oh, we get to feel all our feelings, all of them, and we get to feel them deeply, and we get to process and think, but we're not taught how to regulate. So then we're crazy. But the reality and what we see in society, you know how they always say women are more advanced than men? It's because we're in tune with our emotions that it forces us to think. It forces us to process why we feel the way we feel. And then while dealing with being judged, so we're using our brain more, honestly. That is the distinction that I see. And so it's really about tapping into your emotions. But another side point is, like, I tell people this all the time. I'm like, when I was a teenager, I did go back to, I was homeschooled for a little while, but then I went back to public school. And I'll be reading something and I'll be like, I don't get it, and I have to read the sentence over and over and over. It's like, I have a learning disability. I don't comprehend. Guess what? It's because my brain was not fully developed enough. Okay, does this look like somebody has a learning disability? No, I had to build my brain because it's a muscle. Okay, so I throw all kinds of facts out there like that, and that's, you know, the past 3 weeks of just all these little tidbits of knowledge that aren't even taught. Like, it can help you, like, stop blaming your parents. I'm sorry, it's not your parents' fault. They weren't taught either. Neither were your grandparents. Unless, maybe people who have money have, we'll put them in private school, and, but in general, it's not widely known to teach the things that are in this course. And like, just, I have a bachelor degree in psychology, so there's just a lot of things that I learned about human development, and so. Hi, Kevin. Yeah, I looked up the information. Like, I tried to find where people might have been banned, and it says hidden users, and there was nobody in there. There were no hidden users. So I think he was just, every time somebody would say hi, he'd like delete their comment, and that's not what this is about. I only wanted him to like delete stuff that, so like some guy the other day was like, or last week, he's like literally talking about all his cars he has. Like, this is not what this is about. So okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, it's my own fault. I allowed somebody to be a moderator that I didn't set up any parameters with, but we'll give it a shot. Okay, just because somebody just says who gives a you know what? A lot of people do. Okay, a lot of people are struggling in the world. Look at it. And how's therapy going? I've gone to therapy. I was put on Wellbutrin. I had major depression. Okay, fast forward, or I'm going to just say this really fast. I was married to a Jehovah Witness who told me to call him Lord, jokingly. I had 5 children at the time. I got pregnant again. I had a stillborn, which sent me into a major depression. And all I wanted to do was get out and heal from it. And I went to therapy. They put me on Wellbutrin. I was put up to 350 milligrams. It was major depression that I was diagnosed with. I had a grand mal seizure. While simultaneously in school, I went to a class that basically said that there is no proof that serotonin uptake inhibitors actually work. And one of my therapists was like, you should be a lawyer. I'm like, my husband just beat me up. How is that helpful? In fact, it seems to me like the therapists, they have no lived experience. I've lived a whole bunch of stuff, and that's why I have discernment, wisdom, insight. And that's why I'm sharing what I know, because thank you. So anyway, thank you. I hear you. Someone said I hate my parents. I mean, I had to get over my parent issues. Like, when I was 16, I had rebelled against the Jehovah Witness religion, and I didn't want to go anymore. I complained to my school about being raised Jehovah's Witness. I come home from school one day, and my mom's like, "You got your way. You're emancipated." I'm thinking, what? I'm thinking there's like some court thing that happened, or some meeting or whatever. Nope. It was just my mom saying, "Get out." And so, 16, I was just like, bye. I don't have to listen to my parents. But the reality is that I got put into, I was just like pretty much homeless, just hopping around all my cousins and friends' houses, thinking, at that age, you think you know everything, you think you're smarter than your parents, blah, blah, blah. So that final realization that my mom actually just kicked me out just because she couldn't deal with me, which I wasn't even that bad. Like, I was a normal teenager getting into a little trouble. So, whatever. Yes, but so I had to learn to forgive, and actually, it's interesting because there's another piece to that whole thing is like when I got excommunicated as a Jehovah's Witness, my mom didn't talk to me for 14 years. And then she developed pancreatic cancer, and she barely even wanted me to come to her bedside. But I was pushing, and so I finally came, and we were able to resolve everything. And you know what it comes down to? I forgive you. They don't she's working with what she knows. So love and acceptance, forgiveness, it releases you from all of that inside of you. So it's not, because you can forgive other people and you're freed. And just because they don't accept that or whatever, or they, if they still resent you or whatever, it's like you're releasing the negative energy within your body, and that's really the key. Nice. I did get through it. So, let's see. So, I'm not claiming to be a professional. I'm a professional human being. That's what I am. I look at myself. I make, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. This is just like, I wrote this for my own children because if I were to ever pass away, my children have this. What would mom say? And they can go look at it. They can go find out what mom would say. And it's all based on love, agape love, and kindness, and being good. Like my role models when I was a kid were Jesus, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Princess Diana. I'm all about justice in the world, and education is the foundation. Like this is my worldview, and um, if you wanted me to teach you how to regulate your nervous system, how to literally heal your inner world, yeah, I'm a professional. I know how to do it because I did it. And I so life coach. I have a bachelor's degree, so that's a counselor title. So in any aspect of life, spiritual counselor. Yes. I'm not a therapist. I don't diagnose people. So, yes. So, anything else right now? Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses, when people want to leave that religion, they basically, there's a lot of suicides from people that leave because literally when I got excommunicated, I lost my entire family that were Jehovah's Witnesses, which was everyone on my mom's side. And that was the only family that I really knew my whole life. And then all my friends. So I am actually still excommunicated, and I don't really care anymore. Like, eh. And, I did want to heal the relationship with my mother, and I wanted to be there for her on her deathbed. So I was, and I forgave her, and it was healing. So having a degree probably helped me a lot. It's interesting because, like, even when I was a kid, I wanted to learn about why people do what they do. I was always like, why? Why are they doing that? Why is that? Why? Why? So I've always been interested in human development, and while I was raising 5 kids, yes, that information helped me understand child development, understand uh, the female psychology, uh, male psychology, the history of psychology, and basically I will tell you that psychology, I don't even, like, yes, there are good things that you can learn, but I didn't get a master's degree because I don't believe in the psychological industry. Like, the information that I got from that did not help me heal myself. You would think that it would have. But even the Bible did not help me heal from losing a baby the way I lost a baby. Like, it killed me inside. And I didn't know how to get out. I didn't know how to heal it. So it's like the information that I learned after I got a bachelor's degree in psychology, my personal, spiritual, transformative journey that I took 10,000 miles across the country in my van by myself to finally, like, learn how to have self-compassion for all of me and accept everything, Hakuna Matata, and forgive everyone, including myself. And then just something, what was I going to say about the psychology industry? So the psychology industry, or psychology, whatever, began in Germany. Okay, so when they were doing, like, experiments on people, that's the foundation of psychology. And then you have all these different people who have their own interpretation of life, of human development, so you have scientific facts, and then you have, like, people like Freud who come up with their own philosophy on life. And so another person, Abraham Maslow, he created it's like people have their own way of describing the human experience. So Abraham Maslow, he says, to reach self-actualization, which is becoming the best version of you, you have to have your basic needs met, and then you need to have your emotional needs met, and then you need to have this and this and whatever. It's like it's a pyramid. Excuse me. So I took that, and I was like, I don't really agree with that, because I personally have been able to work on multiple aspects of myself, not in a hierarchical way. I was able to, like, I could literally be homeless and be the happiest person on the planet. Okay? So his philosophy didn't really resonate with me, and I came up with my own. And that's what this course is actually built on, is like, I created this tool to help me heal myself. It's called Core Self Inventory, and there's actually a link down below where you can take the inventory, and it helps you gain clarity on where you are at right now, and gives you some guidance for, like, okay, here's some ideas of how you can improve your life and work towards your goals in a streamlined fashion. And, like, one day I looked back and I was like, oh shit, look at all that I did. I mean, seriously, look at all I did. I was just being myself. Like, I wanted to heal, so I wrote all my stories so I could face it all. I was in college, so my internship, this is what I made. And then from that, I made this, So it's like, it was just a natural process of building upon things. I'm getting off top. Life is so simple after knowing the truth that it's a total mess and there is no higher power. But we must have ethics and be clear as much as possible. Am I a psychic? I am not a psychic. I'm intuitive. I'm empathic. I consider myself an energy worker. Like, I understand energy and frequency. And so um, higher power, I believe in a higher power because energy has frequency. And so, what are the frequency levels? The lowest one is lust, and the highest one is bliss. And then you have everything in between. So, like, what's your resonating emotion? That's your frequency. And so, we're going to get into I did talk about energy yesterday. So, that live is on the website. You can watch that one from yesterday. But let's see, the next one is mental. So next week we'll be doing the mental core dimension, and then the week after that will be the emotional core dimension, where I get into all of that's probably the hardest chapter in the whole like process of this, because we live in a world where we're not taught how to regulate our emotions. And so if anything, I master my emotions. I have mastered my emotions, and right now I'm learning to master my frequency, because I'm gonna get into that then in the emotional. You're not sure if what's true. Samuzmaki. You're always angry. Well, I can tell you a story about being angry. I actually told this story already in one of the earlier videos, but you can use anger as it's the fire. So if I get angry, I dance. So I dance to like let off steam. You know, some people they work out, some people jump out of airplanes. Whatever it is that you can find creative ways to help you release the anger. But that anger is somewhere in your body. It's stored in your fascia, which is the connective tissue between your bones and your muscles. So, like doing different body movements to stretch, like if you have stiffness, that's where you're stuck. That's where that emotion is stuck. And in fact, you can look up based on this. This is all like, this is scientifically, this is not like woo-woo stuff. This is literally like, yes, like yoga. I mean, I don't even do it. Like, I've never taken yoga, but I just do whatever my body wants me to do. And so on my, on this channel, I just shared one, because I dance with light whips, and it's a very free moving, it's like, and I have light whips. They're LED light whips. Okay, literally. So when I'm dancing, I'm taking all that for any frustration if I have it, and I put it in the whip, like, because if you're holding on to the anger, that is a lower vibrational energy, and it's disrupting a clear signal. I'm in Tampa. What is your opinion about a book, The Courage to Be Disliked? I've not seen that book. And actually, that's awesome. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter if anyone doesn't like me. In fact, I'm at a point where I remember a time where I was like, if somebody would say something, oh, you're this, you're that, it would bother me. I would be defensive. And now I'm at a point where it's like, tell me. Tell me so I can look at myself. Because it's in that process of looking at yourself that you're able to observe it and then come to terms with it, whether it's true or not. Because what other people think about you, it doesn't really matter. But I'll take whatever they say. I will look inside and I'll be like, you know what? There's some truth to what you're saying, but there's a bigger story, or whatever my truth is. And you have to understand that you take anything, this is, take anything, okay? There's a spectrum of how much, like, oh, you're narcissistic. Maybe you're a little narcissistic, but maybe you're just a whole hell of a lot narcissistic. There's going to be a spectrum for everything that somebody says about you. You're dumb, and it's all. And there's another thing that I realized was like, you can say I'm dumb. I could say I'm dumb, but the exact opposite is also true. I am smart. So it depends what perspective you're looking at. Because yeah, I made dumb decisions, but I'm also smart. So who cares what people have to say? I mean, like when what I'm saying, like they can have their opinions, and if somebody wants to have an opinion about you, go ahead. Bye. If they want to care, if they have an opinion but they want to understand you and they're genuine about it, then sure, explain your story. But otherwise, if it's just a foundation of judgment and exile and blah blah blah, don't even waste your time. Personally. Yep, that's right. If they judge you wrong, it's their mistake. If they misunderstood you, it's their problem. Ooh, so that's a good one. Oh, so you would take any criticism even from someone with bad motives. So basically, that touches on a very close to home topic because my husband, that was a Jehovah's Witness, he, like, I remember when I was married to him, like, he would say things that would seriously bother me. And then one day I realized, I was like, why am I giving this man any of my, like, anything when I don't even respect him as a human being, So, I mean, you have to find your balance. But even if he were to say something to me now, I don't respect his opinion because of who he is. Like, he thinks he's God. So, does that mean I wouldn't take what he said and look at it? I'm not afraid. And that's the key, I think, that I'm trying to get to is like, when you develop your emotional capabilities, a lot of things don't really matter. So it's not going to hurt me because I already know myself. It's not going to hurt me looking at something that he said. Okay. Thanks. Have a good day. He's a dummy. It's literally could be that fast. Like, because why say just because I don't respect him doesn't mean that he might occasionally have a point. I mean, just be open. So we're getting into emotional stuff. Please no God shit. We're in the spiritual core dimension. So yesterday I went over the whole chapter on different aspects of the spiritual core dimension of life. Like, so tonight we're just going over how to exit from spiritual, I could say slavery or control. Like the religions. They basically, I will say Christianity for sure. Like, I can only really talk about Christianity because I was in a Christian religion most of my life. So, it's like shame, guilt, fear. Those are lower vibrationals, energies. So, basically, that's not what I have. I don't know. I'm over it. Hi to grandson chartered journeys. Oh God. Jeez. Okay. So I'm going to get into the spiritual core assignments. Number 1, journal. Read the following questions and journal about how you feel about your spirituality. Get to the core of why you feel the way you do. It can help you identify issues that you would like to resolve within yourself. What experiences in your life changed your perspective on your spiritual core dimension? Did something impact your beliefs and choices? What do you think about the changes or lack of changes? Can you identify how you have been affected by societal expectations and how it has impacted your life? Has your belief system served you well? So, in every chapter, there's an assignment having you go through this book, the Personality Workbook. And it's just asking, it's a personality snapshot. I mean, this book is literally all questions to help you understand how your personality was developed to begin with, which happens in the first 5 years of life and is reinforced by whatever is around us, our environment, our who raised us, what religion, what belief systems. So as a person, now, you're older and you're like looking at your life, that's what this is. Asking different questions to see how you feel about different aspects of your personality development. So, assignment 2, personality snapshot. What is your annual income? Do you like your income level? Why or why not? Are you discriminated against or oppressed because of your income? Yes or no? Why or why not? What is your sexual orientation? Do you accept or like your sexual orientation? Yes or no? Why or why not? Are you discriminated against or oppressed against because of your sexual orientation? Yes or no? Why or why not? What is... Oh, hold on. I pushed the wrong button. What is your weight? Your height? Do you like your weight and your height? Yes or no? Why or why not? Are you discriminated against, oppressed against because of your weight? Yes or no? Your height? Yes or no? Why or why not? Assignment number 3, principles. Read and answer the following questions. Definition. Principles of personal ethics might also be called morality, since they reflect general expectations of any person in any society acting in any capacity. These are the principles we try to instill in our children and expect of one another without needing to articulate the expectation or formalize it in any way. Principles of personal ethics include concern for the well-being of others, respect for the autonomy of others, trustworthiness and honesty, willing compliance with the law, with the exception of civil disobedience, basic justice, being fair, refusing to take unfair advantage, benevolence, doing good, preventing harm. Write down 10 guiding principles that you live by. Who do you consider your neighbor? To what extent are you concerned about the welfare of your neighbor? How does it make you feel when you see someone suffering? Who do you think is to blame for one's suffering? Do you feel strongly against the behaviors of others that you do not approve of? Yes or no? Why? Do you take away or try to control other people's rights in any way? Yes or no? If so, why? What guiding principles influence your opinions, life choices, and actions? Do you believe that your way is the best way and that others should follow your lifestyle? Yes or no? Why should one follow your set of standards or principles, or not? Are you a fair person? Yes or no? Have you ever cheated in a game? Yes or no? Did or do you feel sorry that you cheated? Yes or no? Did you apologize? Yes or no? Have you ever cheated on your mate? Girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife? Yes or no? Did you feel sorry that you cheated? Yes or no? Did you apologize? Yes or no? If you haven't apologized for cheating, will you? Yes or no? Do you make it a practice to tell the truth, or do you find yourself telling little white lies? Yes or no? Do you take advantage of people who are weaker, poorer, or less advantaged than you? Yes or no? Are you a good person? Yes or no? Do you go out of your way to try not to offend others? Yes or no? Do you say things to people that are hurtful because you believe what you are saying is true, so it is okay to say it? Yes or no? Thomas Jefferson's guiding principles. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Never trouble another for what you can do yourself. Never spend your money before you have it. Never buy what you do not want because it is cheap. It will be dear to you. Pride costs us more than hunger, thirst, and cold. We never repent of having eaten too little. Nothing is troublesome that we do willingly. How much pain costs us, the evils will have never happened. Take things always by their smooth handle. When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, 100. What are your reactions to Thomas Jefferson's guiding principles? Do you follow any of these principles in your life? Yes or no? Are the principles that you live by productive or counterproductive in your life? How are they productive? How are they counterproductive? In what ways can you alter your guiding principles to benefit everyone around you, including yourself? Okay, that's the end of that section. So now, assignment 4 is a collage and a vision board. And so basically, that's one of the assignments for this entire course, is to create a vision board based on who your ideal self is, in all of these different categories. So we have personal, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, sexual, relational, behavioral, financial, and legal. So right now we're at the spiritual section. So gather photos, gather words that identify who your ideal self resonates with the most, and then start creating a little vision board from it. So has anyone started doing that? Because I'd like to know. And now, journal. How was your experience doing the assignments in this lesson? What did you appreciate from this lesson? How could this lesson be improved? Did you think something was missing? What did you learn, or what will you change about yourself? Assignment number 6, connect and share. Is there anything you could share that could help someone else? Share what you're learning and with people in your life. So if this course is resonating with you, it may resonate with other people too. So share it. It may help them. And then also there's an Exiting the Matrix Facebook group. I think the link is down below. Yeah, it's like facebook.com/Exiting the Matrix course. And so you can join that. That's my group, and I share lots of, memes and posts of people who are doing good things in the world. So I'm gonna just read the comments for a minute and see what's up. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Sadly, many people are too hung up in religious doctrine, most of which Christ never advocated for. I agree. So, that was a lot of different information. Do you have Any comments or insight that you'd like to share? Is the live frozen? I don't think so. I might have just been not moving for a second. Anything you guys have to say? I'm so glad there's a bunch of people in here listening, and I have time to answer questions or talk about anything that you'd like to talk about regarding spirituality, regarding, yeah, I like the principles. So actually, I have another website. I'm going to look this up really fast. This is what I wrote. Oops. Oh, it is still there. Okay. Hold on. Nope. I'm trying to find this thing that I wrote. It basically is universal standard of integrity. And I wrote a whole bunch of stuff. No, I have not been to the Jordan. South Carolina. Nice. Welcome from Pakistan. You're fine. You don't have to comment. I was born in Florida, lived in Minnesota for 45 years, and then moved to Pensacola, Florida 10 years ago. Nice. Everything I said makes sense to me. I think what you said so far makes sense to me. Right? It resonates, right? So, I don't know what this is. That's in Arabic. You picked up a hint of a Minnesota accent. You betcha. I do like 420. I use it for spiritual purposes. So, we talked about a lot tonight. I know people come and go, so if you've been here this whole time, can you let me know that you have been here this whole time? Because I'd like to know. Who's been here this whole time? I know I'm trying to fix this. There. I'm finding it to be nice. First time here. Yeah, I've gone over a lot of information in the past 3 weeks. So I would encourage you to watch the other lives so that you get the whole, it's building up, you know, it's a foundation, it's building. Okay. You've been here the whole time, Kevin. Thank you. So I'm just going to say that there are a bunch of links under this video, and if you, I don't know if you can I think you can access it when you're in the live, but it's on all the videos. Basically, there's a link if you want to join an inner circle for 30 people to like just have me and 30 people, so that it's very private and there's no distractions to like dig deeper. And then if you're interested in supporting my work, there's a link to support my work down below. If you want to access the course online, there's a link below where you can register, and there's the whole course, both of these books are online, and there's an audio version of an AI reading it without my commentary, and then there's a podcast too, and then there's also like worksheets and things like that. I think that's all the links. Oh, and then there's a link to the Facebook group. And oh, and the core self inventory. That's that is the tool that I created to help myself heal from major depression, post-traumatic stress, low self-esteem, panic attacks, leaving a religion that didn't serve my higher purpose. Yeah, and it helped me a lot. So, yeah. Yes, I like that you're commenting. I'm glad you're here. Yes, I enjoyed your lesson. Nice. And so, like, I'm just reading all these questions, like, well, this and this and this and this. It's a lot. It's not like you're, like, writing it all down. Go to the course. Just access the course. It's free. It's free. It's 100% free. And so all the questions are right there. If you want to have the books in your hand, I actually put these two books now, because this is an earlier version. Sorry. This is an earlier version. I need to... I have shorts on. This is an earlier version, and it's called the Whole Mind, Body, and Spirit Enrichment Course. So I renamed it to the Empowered Living Mastery, and I put these together so that like if you want just the book, I don't even have that listed on my website to sell it like that, but I can if there's any interest. Sorry about that. Can I give you any are you saying information about PP? PIP? Picture in picture? I don't know what you're asking me. Have you ever loved to have a drink in the water in the hot sun? I mean, that's really off topic. And honestly, who doesn't? Oh. Can you give me any information? I'm not sure what you're asking me. I'm not talking about drinking. This isn't about that's so insignificant to the topic. We're talking about spirituality. That's the topic. Anything about spirituality. Questions, opinions. Thank you. So, just a little background, because I'll sit here and talk, because guess what? I don't have many people to talk to. So, this is my outlet, and I forgot what I was going to say. Um, I'm not standing up. What was I going to say? Nope. I've been on this live for an hour, and it's kind of warm in here. So, I'm just trying to think of things to talk about. Oh, so I wrote this in 2019, and I gave it to my friend who I think would help her. She said, "Can you read it to me?" And I gave it to my ex-boyfriend, and "Can you read it to me? Can you go through it with me?" I'm like, it's literally reading a chapter, answering some questions. To me, is like, it's kind of, it's not that much. I mean, yes, it's work, but it's not. It doesn't have to be boring. Go out in nature and take. Uh, Literally, it's like half an hour a day for 3 months, and so I was like, okay, fine, I'll read it, but I'm gonna read it on YouTube Live. So that's why it's on YouTube Live. Yes, faith can move mountains, right? Yeah, so someone said, Sid Smoky Choice, Smokey's Choice said, most haven't had that awakening. He said, faith, wait, no, it's okay. Most haven't had that awakening, so they won't care. Yeah, or they think they already know, or I mean, just trying to market this. Okay, I'm trying to market my course, right? And I'm like, I could target middle-aged men and women who are divorced, who are trying to find themselves, teenagers who want to prepare for life. In fact, there's a whole section in here in the beginning that I list off all the different people right here. Young people who are preparing for life, parents who want to prepare their children for life, people who want to find themselves, people who are divorced, people who want to start dating after divorce. And just goes, list goes on and on. In my opinion, this is just opening up a conversation, spreading some knowledge and wisdom, and based on personal life experience. And I'm about prevention. Like, if I knew how to regulate my emotions when I was young, and understanding the importance of being centered and not allowing my emotions to just totally like rule my world, because I feel everything. I was so proud. I feel all my feelings. And it would, and then when something traumatic would happen, I would be in those emotions for a month. And then when I lost my baby, it was years. So the one thing that therapy did teach me was that when you're in emotion mind, you can't be logical. When you're in logical mind, you can't be emotional. You have to bridge the two. You have to find a balance between them. And being centered, like the energy, your energy, what you're resonating, what your frequency is. I just shared this yesterday, is that when you're like, let's say something happens. Okay, I'll give you an example. an hour before this live, I saw that Kevin, who is moderating right now, told me that the dude I let moderate yesterday was blocking people while I'm talking. And so initially, I have an hour to get ready to sit here and do lives about a very important topic, spirituality. And so I had to, I didn't really have a lot of time, but I did do some research, and I went outside, I sat down, I just started breathing. I was just like, because, shit happens. Is how you deal with it, or how are you going to react? So if I would have like, oh my God, now I lost people and they're not going to find me and they're going to, you can go on that little tangent of like, oh, despair. And, or you could go another way, like, oh my God, I suck at this. I'm just not even going to do it. I mean, which way do you want to go? I chose to breathe through it and go, it is what it is. If it's meant to be, they will find me. And after this live tonight, I'm gonna go through and make sure that it's all right. So it's about being centered, because when you're centered and you're in the present moment, that's when you're alive. Because like you could be in it's like you're either depressed, you can spiral into depression, down, or, oh my God, I'm sick of anxiety, like, which way do you want to go? Or you want to be centered in the present moment, where you can actually, that's when you manifest in the present moment. So always be present. That's called mindfulness. And I get into that in the emotional core dimension in a couple weeks. Well, see, here's the thing about counseling someone, one person. Someone asks, how do you dance? Okay, his name is Dance 2216. How do you not get emotionally involved when counseling someone? So, I personally do not want to do individual counseling for long term, because it's energy. I'm spending a lot of energy, and like when you are like in their field, because we have energy fields. So when you're like in someone's energy field, you can absorb it, and then it can take some time to process. So I personally would rather like do this, where I'm not emotionally taking on all of your energy. I'm a broadcaster. I'm just broadcasting love and light and good things in the world, and how you can prepare for life, or fix your life, or fix yourself, or heal your traumas. Whatever it is that you need, the information is for that purpose. And so, yeah, I'm not a counselor like that. Is getting okay, someone said, is getting married help with facing a busy and difficult life for a lonely man, or that would make it worse? I mean, that's a fully loaded question, because it depends who you pick. And somebody asked me in an earlier session, they said, what would be my advice to the younger generation about getting married? And the honest truth is, because I've been married and divorced 3 times. The first one cheated on me. The second one was a narcissistic Jehovah's Witness who told me to call him Lord, and I wanted to die being his wife. And then the third one put his hands on me. So, so I told her, I said, the key, in my opinion, is that we're 18 years old. We're like, oh my God, I can do whatever I want. I'm an adult. You know, because society says I can get married, I can vote, I can do all these things, right? However, we're not prepared to do any of it. And, you know, that worked for the 1950s where, you know, but we're at a 50-50 marital rate. So the key is to know yourself and love yourself and be a whole person, not to find someone to that's where Christianity's like, find someone to like complete you. You know, it's like, no, complete yourself. Be like, when I've been in a relationship with someone, they're not complete. So it's off balance. I know. Cheating is horrible. That's the worst feeling ever. Yes, calmness. Just be calm. Calm down. I literally made a meme the other day. I was like, calm down. I haven't shared it yet. But yeah, calm down. So I think I answered your question about, you know, it's like, where are you at with facing a busy and difficult life? Yep. I actually started a course called The Connected Man. And it's basically to help men through the loneliness epidemic and like just my take on what's happening and emotional quotancy, emotional intelligence. You know, I mean, honestly, what does that say? Become a whole person, not needing. That's, you know, so guys want to date me and they want my energy. They want it. And I'm sitting here going, get your own. You know, so if you're in a lower vibrational energy and you see my high vibrational energy and you want it, that's off balance. That the light, the how I feel, who I am, I did a lot of work to get here. And I can't let someone else like dim my light because they need it. No, they need to get their own light. Men need to get their own light. It's in there, and it's through the darkness, and it's not a fun road, but it's a lot easier if you know what you're doing. Because I've always been true to myself every time something traumatic happened to me, and I allowed myself to feel all my feelings. And like I said, sometimes it would take a month, sometimes it would take longer, sometimes it would take years. Depends what it was, but sometimes it could take less. Whatever, depending on the severity, right? Um, Man, my brain's like I'm speaking, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what was I gonna say? Hold on a second. I need to get a drink of water. Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. I forgot what I was saying. I had a point. Maybe it'll come back. I'm trying to do this so that you can't see the laptop. Oops. Yeah, someone's like, I can see the laptop. So that's my take on, like, be whole. Figure out how to heal your traumas. And because, like, as a woman, I want someone who, like, can teach me something. Like, they've done all the work. They're not needing anything from me. They want to give, okay? Because I'm a giver. and I give, but not at the expense of my own well-being. So, if you're going to get into a relationship, be a gentleman, and that's a whole lot of information. Or, you know. Does anybody have anything else they would like to talk about or want me to talk about? It's so hot in here. Yes, Jehovah's Witnesses are Christian. They believe in Jesus. The difference between Jehovah's Witnesses and other Christians is they don't believe in Trinity. And that's a whole, like, see, I don't even get into the whole arguments about, like, doctrine. I believe in Christ consciousness. I'm connected to Christ consciousness, which is, think about, you know, okay, Jesus, a prophet, he comes to earth. Whether the story is true or not doesn't even matter. The point is that what he was showing was, first of all, miracles, and just how he presented himself as a perfect human being, right? He represents everything good. You know, he even had some anger when he threw out the tax collectors or whatever, I think, in the church, turned over the tables when they were trying to make money in the church. So he exemplified, I would say, the highest standard of a man, and also had connection to spirit, which allowed him to do miracles. So Christian means to be a follower of Christ. We're supposed to be emanating Christ-like principles in our own lives. And so no, they believe, well, see, this is how they believe. God, Jehovah, this is actually, okay, so Michael the Archangel, and Jehovah's Witnesses believe that Michael the Archangel, God used Michael the Archangel to create all other things. And there are scriptures that say that is true. That is in the Bible. And then God put Michael the Archangel into the womb of Mary. And that became Jesus. So, who became Jesus and performed miracles? And the Holy Spirit is God's active force that is used to create all things. So that is the foundation of Jehovah's Witnesses doctrine. So they see God, Jesus, Holy Spirit as three separate things. And so when I left that religion, then I did my own soul searching of Trinity and whatever, everything, you know. And basically, to me, it seems like, think about it. If you get married, you have a husband and a wife. They are two separate beings, but they become one. And if they do it properly, they're like, you know, divinely, let's say, then they work in unison with each other. They're not necessarily the other person. They have their own makeup and whatever. And so that's kind of how I see God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. They all have a different function, but they work together in unison. That's my take on it. History is a story. The Bible has been changed 6 times. But they don't believe in the deed. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep, I'm shunned. Most religions are guidebooks on how to treat one another. It's how the physical body should act. Yeah, there's a lot of good principles in the Bible. I do share a lot of scriptures that, like, it's funny because when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I never even read this scripture until after I left. And it's 1 Corinthians 3:16, and it says, "You are the temple of God, and His Spirit dwells in you." So, I mean, read that. That's 2 different things. That's not, it didn't say God and His Spirit is in, I don't know, whatever. I hate getting into debates about the Bible, because, like, the narcissistic Jehovah Witness husband, he was browbeating. Look, it says. And I loved the Bible until he did that for years and was calling me Wicked Queen Jezebel and treating me like shit. Like, I got out of that marriage, exited that matrix, and the Bible just seemed, every time I would read the Bible, I could hear his voice. And I wouldn't read it. I'm like, oh, he ruined it. And that lasted for a long time, and then eventually I just, like, after I forgave everybody for their shit, then I just opened myself up to being able to read it again. So I can. It doesn't, there's good and bad in every religion. And I'm not really debating what people believe on this platform. It's more like we're all on a journey of our own spiritual experience, and so I just accept people for where they're at and what they believe, what's working for them. And people who want, like, direction, this course will help you find yourself and figure out what you believe, because I'm not trying to make people be like me or believe what I believe. I mean, there's a lot of facts that are scientifically proven that I learned, that I share. So my personal opinion doesn't really matter unless you find it helpful, right? Yeah, I talked about that. Someone said religion can be a vehicle for spirituality. I mean, I know people who were Jehovah's Witnesses who were Jehovah's Witnesses for like 30 years, and they were like, I don't feel anything. Like, how are you a Jehovah's Witness? How do you even call yourself a Christian if you don't even believe what the Bible says and what is happening? So it's all, people are going to have their own experience. And I think there's just so much misinformation and discord in the world. I mean, one of the things that motivated me to also write this book for is because we look at how everybody's working. What? Majority of people working 40, 50 hours a week. Do you think they have time to, like, do a whole bunch of research on all the topics? No, they don't. Or, because, let's say you worked 8 hours, 10 hours, and you have kids, and you gotta make dinner, and you gotta help them with homework. Oh, and you're supposed to take them to their band practice, or their football practice, or one of your kids is having problems. There's just time. The time. People don't have time. Yeah, spirituality is personal. It is very personal. Mm. I walked away from Islam myself. I was never that religious to begin with. That is, I can't read the little. What kind of life is what? You gotta formulate a whole sentence so I know what you're asking. What kind of life is that? Expound. It is confusing because we're not taught shit. You're right, Kevin. Right? Because you're trying to make sense of the world in a world that doesn't make sense. And it's an internal experience. Women with kids have barely any time for themselves. Oh, yes. I mean, even families. Just there's, if anyone gets sick, now what? Now you don't have time for, now you got to take care of someone sick. I mean, there's just so many demands on the family unit, on single parents. There's not a lot of time to like take care of yourself. Seriously. So, um, what else do you guys want to talk about? I don't know. I think this is a good place to end this transmission. You guys ready to go? Are you vegetarian? That's not pertinent. I mean, it depends how you look at it. I'm not a vegetarian. I've tried to be a vegetarian. I just would like to know that if I am eating meat, that I know that it's not hazardous for my health, and that the animal is treated with respect. And in America, you can't. It's not even happening. Like, you have no idea unless you go to a farm where you know, and then it's more expensive. Blah blah blah. So I've tried it. I lost weight, and I can't afford to lose weight. So I do eat meat. And we will get into diet in chapter. What chapter? That's chapter 6. So, alright, well, I am thankful for everyone to be here. Right? I've heard things about the carnivore diet being very good for you. I don't promote. Whatever. It's personal. Everything everyone wants to do is for you. Like, because we're so unique. We're all unique, and that is one of the things that people just don't even get. Like, yeah, we keep forgetting how we only have, my fingerprints are unique to me, and that's how unique all of me is, not just my fingerprint. So, Alright, I'm going to end this transmission, and I'm just going to send y'all a bunch of love and energy, loving energy. Please share this with people that you think it will resonate with, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Monday, and we will be getting into the mental core dimension, which is everything about your brain. And let's see, the topics are how to protect your brain, exercise your brain, mindfulness and meditation, and then the mental core exploration and the breaking free mentally, and then the mental core assignments. So that'll be all next week, Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. live, Eastern Standard Time. And check out the links below. Have a blessed night. Join the inner circle so we can have a smaller group to get deeper on different issues that can help you become the best version of you. Much love. And I can't do this with